All right. We got another road show coming to you live and direct with the boys. Hey! Here's our.
Gotta make sure we give them the
we
intro.
give the intro. This is the road show intro as well. Anyhow, so we got a bunch of doors we're gonna go do, and like we always advise, these are people we had conversations with, and you get on the road and you go show up. You give them some of value, see how things are going. They meet you, you introduce yourself, and this is what it is. So
yeah, we're in Sacramento County today, and we have a handful of doors to go hit, half a dozen or so. One of them is a pro-per client. Pro-per means, if you've been following the podcast, they're taking on the probate process without any legal representation. So digging into that person's file, we discovered that their file's a mess. They've made tons of errors with their file. They're not going to be approved at their next court date. They've already been continued a couple of times. So we have all that documentation with us.
yeah, so like you were saying,
But like I was saying, the proper client messed up the filings dramatically, going to receive another continuance. And the way that the file was messed up, it's essentially going to require the personal representative to start all over again, which means filing fees and publication fees and all this stuff. It can be fixed. You just have to know what you're doing. So that's the conversation we're going to have today. Is we're going to show all the probate notes, show all the mistakes, explain how we can fix it, explain that we can prevent these additional costs from happening, as well as having to start the process all over again for her. And that should do it. That should bring her into the fold and bring her in as a client. Now, we're not going to be able to list the property as we anticipated this month because, like I said, she's going to receive a continuance, but it'll fall into our pipeline next month. But these are the things that you have to do. You got to show up prepared. And then when we get done here in Sacramento, we have a listing appointment in Oakley, where Ray's been talking to the PR for months and months now.
Since I think September, October.
Yeah, he called you out of the blue.
Yeah, it was just a lot of follow-up. I mean, constantly called, never called back. I did have a conversation with him back in September, and he had a few things going on. And like anything, you follow up. So I continue to follow up a few times a month. And lo and behold, last week I get a text out of the blue. Hey, you've been leaving me messages. I'm ready to talk. And so that's the thing with these probates. It's timing.
You called me. I was on the golf course.
Yep, called you, and then we had a conversation last week.
I took a break from playing. I just cruised around the golf course in my golf cart, and we spoke with the administrator, explained what we can do, talked about his concerns and his plans, and came to a point where we were in agreement on the plan moving forward. So that individual drove up today from, like, I want to say the Mojave Desert area, and we're going to meet at the property. We got all the paperwork with us. That's a lesson learned. Come prepared. We don't want to get there and agree on what we're going to do and then let some time, have a little bit of a time gap where we're going to send the paperwork, DocuSign it. You're in front of the person, get it signed, print it, bring it with you, fill in the listing price when you agree to that price, and then get it signed right there and be done with it. Get the property listed right then and there. So that's what we're going to do today. We got all the comps with us, we got everything with us. Then we're going to do our agent visual inspection at the same time. So we'll keep you updated on as we go through our day, but just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on what we're embarking on today and bring you along that journey with us. So stay tuned. Hey! All right, the road show intro. So we want to give a recap. We're just finishing a door knocking session here, and as usual, it's a numbers game. We hit a few doors that weren't there. Some were, and one lady, right, was interested. I mean, right here, Miss Gary suited and booted, and she goes, "Oh, Ray and Kim, damn, you guys are handsome." That's not what I expected.
That's not what I expected. So you used every angle, but anyway, we gave her the stuff, and she was on the phone. But anyhow, we just showed up, right? She's got a voice and to the phone calls. So that's one, and then face of the phone. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. And I think the bottom line with these sessions is you always want to try and get at least one solid lead or appointment out of it. So the one main one we did go to was we've been in communication with her. It's pro per, meaning right that there's no attorney involved. But we looked into it. There's a lot of things going on. So
her probate file was a mess.
It was, and lo and behold, it was right around the corner from where we were going.
Yeah.
So we showed up
and
knocked on the door. She was home.
She was home. I came prepared. I researched the file this morning. I knew exactly what was going on with her file, what was wrong, what needs to be done to get it fixed. And this was all news to her. She was totally confused with the process. So we're get the microphone in your hand. Yeah. Hey, you know what? This is not Steven Spielberg Productions, okay? So don't, give us.
We never said we were engineers. Yeah. We're probate heroes. So
probate heroes, man. We're not.
The mic's here.
We're not looking to win an Oscar. All right. He had the microphone in his hand the whole time. So I hope you can hear us. But nevertheless, after I explained to her what was wrong with her file and that we can fix all of this for her and that there's no charge. We're not going to charge her to step in and get all of her documentation in order. We get paid when we sell the house. So she was relieved. She was happy that we were there. She thanked us profusely. And then we set up the next stages. We're going to have our probate gal who does all of the document preps and filings for our clients contact her ASAP and get over that bridge first. And then after we get all of her probate docs in order, then we'll address what we're going to do with the property. She has it in her mind that she wants to hold on to it, but she also filed a fee waiver, and she's not working right now. So financially, she's not going to be able to.
Well, the main goal, as we always say, is we always want to do what's best for the estate. Now, if there's a way she can hold on to the home, great, right? We'll help her. We'll get all this file. We said there's no charge. Well, what if I don't sell it? Well, you know what? It is what it is, and that's happened. You just throw a good deed forward, and this is how it goes. You got to do what's best for your client. But at the end of the day, if she's no longer or she's not able financially, then that's how eventually we would get paid, which we explained to her. But we're going to take it step by step, like you said. So, and one thing I want to add is, remember she did say this, you got to remember that when you're calling these people, they're grieving, right? They're grieving. And she did advise, I'm getting so many calls, and God, don't people understand? And which we do in this line of work, in this lane, that is what you're up against. So it's really a call you're making with compassion. And she did advise a lot of agents right off the bat, as we've always said, they're wanting to, hey, you selling home, where you're not even having that conversation, right? You're, hey, how's it going? My condolences. Just reaching out. We're experts in this lane. We notice you're the representative. We're just here to offer help, right? So it's a little bit more of a art and a science. So we
use the science on the art.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to follow up and follow up and follow up. And we did have a conversation with her. We were going to have a conference call, but she was busy. So her property was literally around the corner from one of the other properties. So we stopped by and she thanked us. You know what? Thank you. I'm still grieving, right? We get that. But we did want to advise her that so she knows what's going on with her file. There was a lot of things. So if anything, we were there to be informative, which we were. And then that's when you advise, hey, we can take it over and help, right?
Yeah. And her eyes lit up when I said that. And I told her we could step in right now, get everything cleared up for you. You can go back to the emotional side without having to worry about all this tedious probate work. You can continue to mourn the loss of your parents. You can deal with it emotionally, start getting your life back together, start looking for work. She's out of work right now, and it's been hard for her to do all this stuff while she's also emotionally, challenged with dealing with the loss of her parents, and that's completely understandable. So she was relieved to hear that we not only can do all of this, but we're willing to do all of this at no charge, even if she ends up not selling the property. Like Ray said, sometimes that happens, and you have to just look at it as you're putting a good deed in the good deed bucket. And it'll all come back to you tenfold as long as you're, just doing good things for other people. And sometimes that happens, and when that does happen, great. We did something great for another human being, made their life easier. No, we didn't get paid, but guess what? We're gonna go on throughout this year, and Ray and I are gonna sell 100 probate homes. So big deal, we didn't sell this one, but we helped that one person out at a very detrimental time in her life. So that feels good, and we move forward with that, and we take that with us. Hey, it's a win in our book, even though we didn't financially get compensated from it, if that's the way that it goes. From what I'm seeing and hearing, when that time comes, after she receives her certified letters and the 4-month creditor period kicks off, there's going to be some rude awakenings on the financial side, not to mention the tax side of trying to keep the property. So more than likely, this is just me, 20 years of experience speaking, she's going to want to sell the property just to get it off her shoulders financially, put a good chunk of money in her account that she can live on while she's getting her ducks in a row and getting back into the workforce. But if it doesn't happen, we're completely fine with just helping another human being. It's still a win for everybody. But with that being said, one of the things I also mentioned to her, and I've mentioned this to you, it's kind of a two-way street here. She was venting to us about all the phone calls that she's getting. And we explained that's because probate's public record. A lot of these real estate agents and investors that are calling, they're just, they're not really experts in this niche. They're just prospecting for business. And as much as she didn't like that, she understands that. And I explained to her, clients that are working with us, we alleviate that burden, because when we refile her paperwork for her, the name and phone number that's going to be on the paperwork, and it'll be specifically directed to anybody inquiring about the real estate, contact Gary DiGrazia, and my phone number will be there. So she's not going to be burdened with these solicitations anymore. Those calls are going to come to me. Now, in terms of you, a future probate hero, if you can do this for your clients, this is going to eliminate any competition. Anybody else trying to call during the time that you're having these communications with the prospect, maybe someone comes in and snakes the deal from you and they end up selling the property. This alleviates that. You're locked in. Anybody that's calling the estate regarding the real estate, they're going to call you. Yeah, and that's where you want to live. And I mentioned that to you because in the last couple of podcasts, Ray and I were talking about, we want to work with you. And if probate is something that you really want to add to your business, your general real estate, the way you do your business now, the way you've been doing your business, you can do that anywhere. You can do that at any real estate firm. And I don't know what your relationship is with your current brokerage, but let's just call it what it is. Do you really owe your current brokerage anything? Because at any given day, that broker can sell that office, and that broker can get a big payout. And guess what? You, as the agent working there, you're not going to realize any of those proceeds from that sale. You're going to have to go somewhere else and start all over again. So what do you really owe to your brokerage? Why are you committed to staying there? Is it because of the name? It's Compass, it's Coldwell Banker, it's Remax, it's whatever it is, it's Keller Williams. The name is not what brings the business. You bring the business. Your clients work with you because of you, not because of the brokerage that you're in. So, where am I going with this? You know where I'm going with this. Come and partner with Ray and I. Bring your business over to EXP. Work directly with us. Utilize all of our resources. So when you start working probate, we can put you into the same systems that we're using. And when your clients file for probate, it's your name and contact info that's on the documentation. So when any other agents are calling, which would be your competition, they're not calling your prospect and selling them on their services. They're calling you. And you can tell them, hey, Joe Blow, I'm so-and-so. I'm the agent that the estate has hired. They're working with me. If you want to bring a buyer for the property, contact me. Now you've eliminated the competition. But you're only going to get that by working directly with Ray and I. So hey, Evaluate your situation. Do you want to recession-proof your business? The business you have right now, you can keep that business going, working with us at EXP. We'll add the probate piece for you. Recession-proof your business. It's scalable. You can grow it. Regardless of where you're living, you can work as many counties as you want utilizing our resources. It's really a no-brainer. So reach out to us. Message us in the comments. Tell us you want to talk a little bit more in detail on working directly with us, and we'll have that conversation with you, and we'll get you on that path. So there you go. There's my soapbox.
Sweet James.
Sweet James.
Dropping the mic on that one. So, in a recap.
You literally dropped the mic like a few minutes
ago. I did drop the mic, but on a recap, just like you said, right? We're here if you guys see the value. But on the bigger picture, as far as this business, as we've been providing, you got to make the calls. You got to do the follow-up. 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 Hopefully that's getting into your head. You got to follow up. That's where 80% of your business comes from, the follow-up. And then the next layer is getting out and door knocking, right? So that's just all we're doing, another roadshow event. So hopefully you see some value, questions, concerns, comments. Leave them. We're looking forward to partnering with you soon. Until then,
I'm Gary.
I'm ready.
Yep. And this is the Probate Hero Collective Roadshow.
The Roadshow. Talk to you next.